Welcome to class and to our modify even more theme. Just letting ourselves, giving ourselves permission to adapt and alternate our poses so that we can find out what suits our body better and to be a soft approach, have a soft approach with ourselves. And today is going to begin actually in a face down position. You'll want that blanket, chair, block and strap handy. And anything we do, you can take the other alternative too. So take care of yourself. We'll just take a moment in seated to come into a nice breath here. Let's place one hand on top of the other and facing the hands in front of the body. However you'd like to be seated. Close the eyes. We'll take 3 deep breaths together. And on the last breath together here, in this 3 breaths, we'll just imagine the word let on the inhale, letting every lovely thing, positive thing into the body. On the exhale, go. Letting go of what we do not need. Let's take a couple more breaths with that concept of releasing. Feel free to take the other hand on top of the other opposite. Sense of receiving through the palms. Letting go of tension. And flutter those eyes open. And we'll begin to shift to this face down meditation. So any of these poses that we take today, whatever's more comfortable, but I'm going to give the name of the pose that's sort of the modified version of this or the opposite. So the reason we're doing face down right now and the full body face down is that I'd like to invite you, when we have child's pose or a tabletop pose that's uncomfortable for you, this is a really good way to protect, your knees or your low back or whatever is bothering you at that time. So a lot of this action can be really engaged from face down. And I'll probably look up sometimes just to make sure you can hear me. So there's a couple of ways to make yourself even more comfortable here, but it depends on your body. I like sometimes to take the blanket about 60% down the mat and then just have the pelvis on top of that folded blanket. Or if you want more attention to your low back, you can play face down and just place that blanket on top of your low back, just for a nice warm feeling on the low back. So go onto your side and ease yourself onto the belly. Place your hands underneath the forehead for a pillow effect. And just feel that draping effect. If you want to take that blanket and just test it out, see what it feels like underneath the hips, you can do that. Or you can place it on top of your low back and just kind of shift it around with your hands, just for that sense of like comfort and hugging into the low back. So let's take the forehead to the hands and find your length here. We're going to really extend with our breath. Take 3 breaths where you just don't make any effort, but just notice the breath. The in-breath and the out-breath. And of course, the space in between, just like those waves pause before they come around and curl. Just take that pause with your breath. Noticing and witnessing. Feel the dropping of the shoulders towards the earth. Feel that contact we're having with something that feels stable underneath the body, at the front of the body. So we're going to try to activate that front of the body a little bit more as we move around to keep ourselves even more stable. But this is a great way to kind of get in touch with that stability.
So as we take our 3-part breath, the first part of the breath, we're going to send that to the pelvis. So the center of our pelvis, inhale, invite the breath all the way down to the base of your torso. As you exhale, invite that energy back up through the midline of the body. So just breathing towards the crown of the head. And then we're going to inhale again. First part, we'll send it to that pelvic floor area. And then in the second part of that inhale, let's take it to the ribs. Then we can exhale, just sending that energy through the center to the crown of the head. And then the next inhale, we've still got that sending down to the base of our torso, to our center, and then the ribs engage. And then let's just take it up to the collarbone, the shoulder area. And then exhale, center, feel everything, pull into the midline. Just travel with your breath, explore a little bit with this more expansive breath. And you'll notice that the front body is having that action against the earth. So it's like a hug from the earth to the front body as we breathe. And the next time you exhale, see if you can drop that tailbone towards the heels. Just point it towards the heels and notice that your abdominals become more engaged as you drop the tailbone towards the heels. Nice alignment there, keeping ourselves stacked here, pelvis, diaphragm, base of neck. And just ease off a bit with the effort. Come back to normal breath. And let's take our mind's eye to the third eye. So the third eye between the eyebrows. Bring to mind a still image of something that's quiet, peaceful, something you love. Even if it's the ocean, you see the waves, but you know there's a stillness, a nice depth and calm underneath. Take another breath to bring that stillness and peacefulness into focus so we can embody that physicality as well. Lovely. Now you can just open the eyes and move, if you're on top of that blanket or it's on your back, just move it over to the side. Again, this is a nice alternative. If we're in tabletop and doing that bird dog pose, or if we're on child's pose doing some stretches, you can just come onto the floor, face down. Let's reach our arms next to the ears now. And take the forehead to the floor. So now we're going to take that same fortifying breath into the midline of the body, down to the pelvis, pull up the pelvic floor, zip into an imaginary wetsuit as we start to take our slow swim. The right leg's off the floor and the left arm and the head, keeping the back of the left neck nice and long, and exhale down. Inhale, exhale, invite the breath into that center line. So you really fortify before you go up. And then just take another rotation of breath, coming up with the right arm and the left leg. Expanding away from the midline as you lift. And then pulling in towards the center as you exhale and go down. Check in with yourself as the forehead comes down, that you're engaging that really deep center of your center. So we're engaging the muscles that support our breath and support our movement. And then bringing the palms down to the floor, just feeling that roundedness through your palms. Take the forehead down, slide the hands next to the shoulders and take the elbows into the ribs. And just feel that pressure of the elbows into the ribs. And take the tops of your feet, press them into the floor. Exhale the tailbone towards the heels. And now we're going to peel up off the floor into a very small cobra. The other theme of the day is to just go about 70% of the extension you would normally go. And see how that feels. And then come on down. And up again. Following the breath, really inflating the back of the lungs here. So we're just taking ourselves up to a very young baby cobra. Beginner's mind. Keeping it fresh. Bring the forehead down, reach the arms again, away from the midline, so next to the ears. And we're gonna take our arms and the legs off the floor as we point the tailbone towards the heels. Don't go up super far, just about 70% of what you normally might effort, even if it's a tiny inch off the floor and then down. Fortify again with the breath into the midline. Press that navel towards the spine and then lift. And then down. So we're not over efforting in that arching upward. We're just pointing that tailbone and lifting again. And then down. And bring the hands back underneath the forehead and take the hips side to side, swaying. Yeah, nice and comfy there. Excellent. Now we're gonna roll onto our left side. Just take your, you can take a blanket underneath your ear, or you can take that ear on top of the left arm. Let's take the knees in front so that we're taking the thighs 90 degrees to the body. So we know what that feels like. We've done that a lot. Great. Take the right hand in front of the chest. And take that same breath where as you exhale, you're thinking of that midline and pulling up the pelvic floor, aligning everything. And then we're going to reach that right leg, straighten it out towards the base of the mat, and just reach the heel back towards the back of the mat. And then bring that knee forward on top of the other knee. Take your right hand down and support the back of that thigh. And just see if you can open up that hip so that you're facing that right knee up towards the sky. We're rotating through the hip, bringing the knees together. And then slide your right hand to the right hip bone. Inhale, exhale, feel those abdominals engage as you bring that energy through the center to the crown of the head. And then with that engagement, let's reach that right leg back again, heel back towards the back of the mat. So you feel that length there with the hand on the hip, and you feel your abdominals engage. And then let's come back with the knees together. Feel free to support your right thigh as you lift the back of the thigh, and then just opening up that hip socket, or just rotating there. And then we'll take the hand back to the hip and exhale, reach back. Noticing those abdominals stay nice and strong. And then if you want to reach the right arm next to the right ear, or just to the diagonal from the leg, taking a luxurious lengthening on that right side. And then come on back, hand to the hip, right knee meets the left. Now with those knees together, we're just gonna take the toes and big toes and attach them together, and the feet, and then just inhale, exhale, strengthen the midline and lift that right knee just a few inches away from the left, and then down. And we'll repeat this a few times. Feel free to take the right hand to the glutes and just feel that those smaller glute muscles engage as we lift up and down our modified clamshells here. Following the breath and the movement. Matching and in harmony. Lovely. Let's roll on to the back. And keep those knees together. On our way to the other side, let's take those the soles of the feet together and the knees wide apart. Hands on the hips. Just feeling the hips, the knees rolling side to side, rocking, cradling. So we're sending that energy of cradling to the pelvic floor, to the pelvis, to those hips, nurturing. Feeling that we can listen to the body and give it permission to adapt as needed. If here in an adaptation, you could take 2 blocks underneath your thighs as well, if that opening were too much for you. Another modification of a common pose. And then take the palms up towards the sky, so we get this effect of the shoulders melting towards the floor. Open up through that sternum, expansive sky energy right to the heart. Exhale, release those shoulders through your breath. Now we can help those thighs together. Let's bring the knees together and roll onto the right side. Find your preferred cushion underneath that right ear. Bringing those knees and thighs 90 degrees to the body. Very nice. Taking your left hand, let's balance here for a moment. Inhale, exhale, energy lighting up the midline, and then we're going to reach the left leg long and back, that heel towards the back of the mat. Feel that lengthening there. And then exhale, draw the knees towards each other. Take your left hand to the back of the left thigh and just assist as you take that knee skyward and very gently rotating through that hip. Hand comes here, left hand. Actually, let's take the left hand to the left hip so we can feel that engagement with our exhale. Those lower abdominals, you can feel them firing up, right? Let's keep that engaged as we reach the left leg back. And then knees together again, support the opening of that hip, rotating through the left hip. Hands to the hip, left hand to the hip again as you reach back. Exhaling, and then lift that left arm next left ear, or just lift it in a diagonal away from the left. A nice soft way to lengthen the side to side. Sweep the left hand down to the hip and the knees together again. Lovely. And then we'll roll onto our back. Oh, did I not do the clamshell? Let's come back. And thank you for that reminder. We're going to lift that. Keep the left hand on the hip. Keep the abdominals engaged as we lift the left knee up towards the sky, keeping those feet together. And about 4 or 5 clamshells here. If you want to feel that action, take the left hand to the left glutes. And there we go. We can see what we're feel what we're activating. Larger muscles. You might want to take a vacation sometimes, but it's really nice to activate them. Remind them of their job. Okay, thank you for the reminder. We're going to roll on to the back. Find our center line, keeping the knees bent. Inhale and exhale, drawing a light up that spine. Now we're going to take a soft twist, taking the knees together, the feet together, and let's just take those palms down to the floor so we feel that folding open of the shoulders, pressing the full length of your arms into the floor. We're going to guide the knees side to side and just rock out there, releasing through the low back. So this is a very soft, dynamic twist. Feeling the release of effort through the low back. Great job. Let's roll onto our side, and we're going to push away as we come up towards the more standing sequence. So I'm going to call it a standing sequence, but actually we're going to modify with a chair. So if you came in later and you want to go grab a chair, it's going to be very much a part of this practice today. So we can learn that those props are absolutely our best friends. So while we do that, or if you have that chair handy, you just pull it towards you. Make sure to engage your core as you do that.
And if you want to, on your way up, this is another modification of standing up in a yoga class, is to take that blanket underneath a knee as we come into towards a tabletop action here, bringing those shins to the blanket and taking the hands to the seat of the chair. Inhale, exhale, zip up into that imaginary wetsuit. Take whatever foot is more comfortable coming forward, curl the back toes under, and lift on up as we come up towards standing. Hold on to the chair and bring that foot forward. Hold on to the chair as you bend down and move that blanket aside. And then come bringing the chair into the middle of the mat. So we're gonna sit on the chair, really just going right there to adapt any seated poses on the floor that might be uncomfortable at some point. You can always use a chair, but we're gonna stand in front of the chair in our strong mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. Just sending the breath up and down, feeling the course of energy through the body. And make sure we've got that chair safely behind us as we take the hands to the hips and bend the knees and hinge forward at the hips as we take our hands to the seat of the chair and sit down in a very conscious way, right? That's how we can use our all of our yoga training in our everyday action. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to take the cat-cow in a seated position. Take the feet to the floor, spread the toes so we don't forget about that foundation. Then we've got those shins 90 degrees to the thighs, preferred. Hands to the thighs. Find a tall seat here as you sit to the edge of the chair. Beautiful. And now we're going to take our cat-cow here. So let's take our hands to the back of the chair and just broaden across the collarbones with your inhale. As you exhale, see if you can take the eyes of your heart and just look up slightly towards the sky. Again, 70% of what you normally might effort this. Exhale back to a neutral spine. And now bring the right arm over left. We're going to give a hug. So hold there, hold the arms on the sides and curl back, navel towards spine, tip the head. And then open up, grab the back of the chair again, cats. So this is the same as cat-cow. If we're having a tabletop moment and that's uncomfortable, come up to a chair and do this. Left over right, or opposite of whatever you did, hug yourself, curl in. Let's take just one more round here, right and left, following your breath. Pace of your breath. And open up. Cat-cow, keeping that still, peaceful image in mind. Come on back, and we're going to take our hands to the sides of the seat. Find a nice tall broad across the collarbones as we look over to the right shoulder. Now let's look only towards the right shoulder, especially with our practice today, not the full extent. Come back to center, over to the left. It's really an interesting practice to try to not over effort that extension. Come back forward, gaze neutral, chin neutral. Now we're going to look up. Inhale and exhale, dip the chin towards the heart, but you don't have to go all the way down. Just feel that gentle lengthening in the neck. Feel your feet again on the floor. Connect the the legs and their energy together. And then look on back up. Take the left hand, reach the arm out, and take the top of the left hand to your sacrum. Hold on to the chair with that right hand. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, we'll take the right ear toward the right shoulder. So we're lengthening on the left side. Feeling that lengthening of the shoulder on up to the skull, through that trapezius. Look slightly down towards your right, bringing chin towards the right shoulder. Exhale back. Take your right hand, help that head up. That's our kind of a modification we do all the time instead of straining there. Come back to the center, inhale. Exhale, find the center and reach the right arm out. Take the back of the right hand to the sacrum. Another breath in. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Just drop the ear towards the left shoulder. The breath is freeing up that right side. And then we're going to look towards the left shoulder, the chin and the eyes. And then back on up. And then take your left hand to the left ear, reach up, release that back hand, take the hands to the thighs again. Inhale and exhale, reach the arms above the head. And then come to cactus hands. Thumbs behind us. Pinkies up, rotating through the shoulders. And then bring the palms forward. Spread the fingers, and then bring the pinkies together in the front of the body, but let's hold there as if we had a block in between the hands. So we're keeping that even level from the shoulder to the elbow. We're just taking it to that level here. Imagine that block there. You can even take a block between if you feel like getting that, and lift those elbows up skyward and fingers up skyward. Wait till you've got about 75% of where you'd go, and then open up, fingertips together, open up. We'll do that again, bring it forward. All the while, feet on the ground, sits bones on the ground. We've got that extra reminder beneath us to connect with what's supporting us. Bring it together again. Lovely, let's bring those hands down. So what we're gonna do now is an adaptation of when we do the side sit on the ground. So we're gonna sit up still on the chair, but we're gonna scoot on over towards the edge of the chair, towards the right side. And see if you can open up your left knee and keep it lined up with your middle two toes, so you keep that left foot really active and flexed. And then you're gonna take that just towards take your sits bones towards the edge of your chair. Use your fist to help you there. And then just take that curled toes on the right side and open up that right hip, hand on the hip, just feeling that this is an adaptation of our side sit when we sit on the floor and we do that folding of the knee. This is a nice adaptation of that. Take the hands to the hips. So you can feel both sits bones on the cushion, but you're just reaching back, curling those toes under, and noticing that we are still echoing that feeling, but without that severe fold in the knees. Great. So from here, let's find our center, especially through our exhale and the side sit. Let's take the arms up to cactus, and let's twist over towards the left side. Coiling around our center, take the right hand to the left thigh, left hand to the back of the chair, gentle twist, very gentle today, extra gentle, not our full extension. Come on back to center. Now we're going to change this into a lunge, an adapted lunge. Take the hands to the seat of the chair again, and this time we're going to straighten out that left leg, left foot on the floor, shin in line, ankle in line with the knee, and we're going to drop that right knee down as if we were doing a lunge on the floor. Curl the toes under on the right side. Hold on to the seat of the chair just to keep that nice support there. But see if you can even out those hips towards the front. Take the right hand to the side to the hip bone if that helps. And as you exhale, energy in the feet comes together and magnetizes, almost as if we're still standing, right? So we're not just clunked into the chair. We're actually supporting ourselves through the feet. Take your right hand up towards the sky, and let's lean on over towards the left, lengthening as we drop that tailbone towards the floor. And open up the fabric of the right side, roll that shoulder away from the ear. Yes. And then sweep it on back up. And if you want to try a balance with that knee over those toes in the front, you can let go of the seat of the chair and press through the feet and reach on up. Only if you feel like it. Today, listen to the body. That's our theme. Sweep the arms down. Let's bring that right knee forward. Yep. Support underneath the thigh. And we're gonna come to the middle, travel over towards the left a little bit for our adapted side sit here. Flex the right foot and allow that, as you sit on the edge of the chair, allow that knee to just open up slightly. And we're gonna fold the left knee and just bend there. Bring those flexed feet on the back there, on the left. Sit up tall. Edge of the chair, find even sits bones as much as you can. So turn to this. Again, I'm just going to repeat this. Turn to this. Anytime we're doing something on the floor, doesn't quite feel right, you can do this. Get on the chair. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring it to our cactus arms. Great. And keeping the strength through those arms, let's turn over towards the right knee. Standing, still feeling that energy in that back foot. Drop the left hand to the right thigh and the right hand to the back of the chair. Exhale and twist. Maybe look over, bring the head into this, or just keep looking over the sternum. Unwind yourself, and let's take the right foot to the floor and ankle and knee aligned, and scoot on over towards the left, allowing ourselves to drop that left knee and curl the toes under on the left side with that knee aligned in that more vertical position for the thigh. Hold on to the side of the chair. Press through your feet so you feel fortified from the base. So we're not just counting on the seat of the chair. Inhale the left arm next to left ear. Rolling that shoulder away from the ear. And then lean on over, exhaling to the right side. As you connect the feet together, you're gonna increase that capacity to change things up in the muscles. And extend, again, don't over effort this leaning over, just go with your own flow. Lovely, come on up. Hands to the hip. On the left side, if you want to let go of that right side and balance here in an adapted high lunge, you can do that. Sweet exhale, let's come on down, support that left thigh as you come forward. Nice. Let's sit on the edge of the chair, finding that center again, feet on the floor. Draw the energy of the feet together so we get that extra reminder of our center. Let's sweep the hands up in front of the body, long arms. We're going to take the back of the hands together, inhale, part the C's now, exhale, and do that lion's breath with me. Come on back to the center. One more time before we go on up. Inhale together, exhale. And on the next drawing together with our inhale, our exhale, we're going to take it up to the sky, release it out up like confetti. Lovely. And let's take ourselves to prayer position above the head. Bring that forward and just let's draw a nice squiggly line with that prayer position down to the heart. Let's tap in to this strong seat, to our feet on the ground, sits bones, rooting, strong seat. So we're going to take this into a chair position, but coming off of the chair. So you can bring those feet a little closer, hands on the thighs, keeping the hands on the thighs if you want to. On our way up, we're going to take an adapted downward dog.
So let's hold on to the thighs at the top there. Inhale, exhale, really feel that abdominal engagement as we lean forward, come onto the feet, hold yourself off that chair for a moment, prayer position of the heart. Hold as long as you'd like, or 75% of what you think you should do. And then come on up to slowly, slowly stand. Wow, we've got some whipping winds here today. Just hearing that. So now we're gonna face our chair. Feel free to put it at the top of your mat if you want, or one side of your mat. We're gonna take an adapted down dog. So if you want to take the back, actually, let's take the chair so that it's facing away from us. Nice. And that the tall part, we have a choice between the tall part and the lower, the seat. Okay, we're gonna take the hands to that top of the chair and stand in mountain pose next to the chair. And then walk the feet backwards to the base of the mat and reach out and lengthen. So this is an adapted downward dog. We're still actioning those arms and the lengthening of the side bodies. We can bend the knees. If that's too uncomfortable for the low back, modify and reach those arms. But also as you exhale into your center, fold the shoulders towards the ribs. Yeah. Feeling that armpit energy towards the ribs. So we're really activating those muscles. And then bend the knees, walk towards the chair, holding onto the chair, or from mountain pose, taking your hands to the base of the low back, elbows behind you. Let's take an adapted camel pose here. So camel pose is often done on the knees. We're not taking it on the knees or the shins. We're standing up. Heart eyes look up, regular eyes look up. Third eye, palm. Exhale, take it forward again. And let's walk back to our fold, to the downward dog. You can come lower if you want, stay here, bend the knees, or straighten them. Lots of choices. If you want to get into those hamstrings, you can straighten the legs or not. And then bend the knees, walk forward. Let's take the support to the back or just stay holding onto the block as you push the pelvis forward. Dropping that tailbone, very important. Hands on the back, really nice to support that tailbone dropping. Nice, and then we're gonna come to our neutral spine, neutral mountain pose. Inhale here. Exhale, activate pelvic floor, diaphragm, base of our neck. Drop the shoulders. Feels so much more stable and ready to move. So we're gonna do our dancer pose here. We're gonna take it to the right foot. So full foot on the floor. Keep that soft knee engagement by lifting the quadricep on that right leg. Bend your left knee, right angle. Hold onto the chair, right arm next to right ear. So I think I'm doing well. It's all right. Let's take the right hand to the floor, to the chair, and the left arm next to left ear. Yes, that's it. Let's just stay here for a moment. We're drawing and hugging into the midline energetically, and then come on down. This time we're going to do a reach back instead of reaching left arm next to left ear. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, lift the left leg. Lift that right quadricep, support the knee as you reach the left hand towards the left heel. So you don't have to reach all the way back, you can just touch it or just reach. What we really want to do is open the heart here, the eyes, the third eye, still the gaze, and then bring it back down. So we're adapting our dancer pose. We don't have to do the full lean forward. We don't have to grab the foot. Just take the essence of the pose and play with it. Let's take it to the left side. Stand in mountain pose. Exhale into the center, left foot engages, left quad, stacking our ankle, knee, hip, and then bend the right knee. Lift the right arm next to right ear. You can hold onto the chair or test your balance. And then coming back down, find your center again. Exhaling, let's lift the right knee again. Reach that right arm back. Fingertips touch the heel, or maybe not. Maybe they just keep that reaching, keeping the heart open. And then coming back down. Let's walk back. Take a little adapted downward dog here, only as far as you'd like. No bending too far forward when you don't need to. Want to keep it up, diagonal or bend the knees, that's fine. And bending the knees as we walk towards the chair. And now take a dancer pose however you would like. You have a few of those options. For the try, we're taking it to the right side first, bending the left knee. You can just take that arm up on the left side, reach. Whatever you'd like to play here, you can hinge forward at that right hip. But soft effort is what this Modify class is about. You're ready to take it to the other side. Find your center first, then switch. Dancer pose. Find the focus and come on back to mountain. We're going to switch that chair so that the seat is facing us. And then we're going to call up that other prop, the blanket, place it on the floor so that we can have a place for our shins to come on down. So we're going to take that hands to the seat of the chair and bend one knee and bring that shin down to the floor, knees on down here. So I want to make sure we take the shins to the blanket, allow the knees to drape over the side. And we're going to take this towards a kneeling position, taking the hips towards the heels. Again, if this is uncomfortable for you, you can stay up. We're not going to be here very long. We're just doing a nice adapted child's pose, bringing this chair towards us so that we can lean our forehead onto the chair. So whatever, if you'd like to separate the knees or keep them together, let's find a nice vertical through the spine and then hinge forward, bringing the forehead down to the seat of the chair. So the third eye comes down. And we just take the arms, the thumbs to the elbow creases. So if the hips are uncomfortable with that forward, deep forward bend in our child's pose, you can use this option. Inhale, exhale. Close the eyes and call up that image that you may have found in our last third eye focus. The lake, forest, ocean. And then come on up to vertical. If you have a block nearby, we're just gonna have a nice shoulder opener here. Take the block between your hands like so. And bring those elbows onto the edge of the chair and bring the forehead to the edge of the chair. Kneeling back, or if you want to lift the knees, you can also put something behind your knees or curl the toes under. However you want to bend the knees is up to you, your body. So we're going to take the elbows to the seat, to the edge of the chair, and the hands on that block nice and strong. Forehead on the chair, adapt as you need, and then lift that block up above the back of your head and then down. So we're just massaging here. If you're any confusion, you can just look at me. I'm taking that block up and down, not to an extreme, but just kind of massaging through
the shoulder sockets. And if this is uncomfortable for you, by all means, just take the thumbs to the elbow creases. Find the breath. And then place the block on the seat of the chair. And then come on up to vertical, roll the shoulders behind you. Just kind of feeling what that was like. Usually that's the kind of, with that particular stretch, I often don't feel it till afterwards. So I hope it feels nice and broad and opening. Let's adapt and take that chair out of the way. So take a moment, whatever you need, to move that chair on out of the way so we can explore some more on the mat. Move that out of the way, and we'll meet on the mat with our recline position again. Take the feet to the base of the mat, spread the toes, and then find your way onto the back. Take your hands to the back of the skull, support that. Feet on the floor. And then take the fingertips to the base of our heels. Great. And then take the palms to the floor. Full length of your arm. Press them into the floor. Fold the shoulders away from the midline. There we go. Feel the strength there. And then draw that energy into the center. We're going to do a baby bridge here. Curl that navel towards the spine. Lift the pelvis off the floor about 5 inches. And then down again. So we have a dynamic bridge building here. We're really keeping this small as we repeat. But this is engaging the deep center, the abdominals, and the glutes. So when we do a full bridge, you can always opt for the baby bridge. Still get so many benefits. As long as you keep those arms engaged, shoulders away from the center. Nice, come on down. And then we'll do just a nice, easy kind of figure four. Well, it's really not a figure four, it's just crossing your right leg over the left. And finding your sacrum and space here on the base of the mat, if this is comfortable for your knees. Just kind of hang out here, allowing that gentle stretching on the right thigh. Now, if you were to do a figure four and that was hurting your knee, you can always try this softer version, just crossing over. Now, if you step on the left foot strong, you can slide over onto your left side. If this is uncomfortable for your knee, you can bring the knees together. But we're going to allow that right knee to softly come down to the floor. And take the left arm out in front of us. And then the right hand's going to reach palm on top of palm. Now we're going to draw a rainbow with those right fingertips out into a soft twist. Looking up at the sky. Allowing that right shoulder to accept gravity to wherever it goes to. You can even soften through the hands, just softening into a twist. Take the left hand to the right thigh, supporting that lengthening on the right side of the thigh. And then sweep the right arm back over to the left. Keeping those legs together. You can come on
up onto the sacrum, gently unwind, and try it on the other side. As you cross the legs, take your mind's eye to the sacrum, find it on the mat so that we always keep our center in harmony with the mind. And of course, the breath. Now we can slide onto our right side, unwinding to have the knees together if that's more comfortable, or you can softly land that left knee on the floor. Hands together on the right side, we're going to sweep across the sky with our left hand and left arm reaching. Soft twist. Noticing how the breath responds to the twist. Witnessing the shift tides in the body when we move in a self-compassionate way. And sweep that left hand across the sky, back onto the right hand. So I take the right hand, just supporting that left thigh. Come on up. Unwind. And let's lengthen on the mat. If this is comfortable for you, you can take a blanket on the hip. Fold the blanket underneath the hips. And let's lengthen out. So we're lifting the hips slightly, only if this is comfortable. And then reaching the arms next to the ears. Feel that luxury of lengthening our front body with gravity on our side as we release the arms down to the floor. And those feet off to the side. Sweep the arms down to those hip bones. Give a little internal massage to the inside of the crest of those hip bones. Out towards the outside. Yes. Noticing this supports the sacroiliac joint in the back of the pelvis. Lovely. Bend the knees softly, taking the feet to the floor. Lifting the hips up and removing that to the side, that blanket to the side. Take the knees together and the feet wide apart. Palms up to the sky, fold the shoulders open. And coming back to your breath, let's just take a tour of what's comfortable in the body, what's still lingering tension, back of the skull, easing, gravity supporting the releasing, relaxing of our eyes, our ears. Kind of taking a moment to just visit this concept we've been playing with, which is to not weigh over effort, but to back up and adapt. Release that very common concept, which is to, go to the limit, let's extend, but maybe back off and just see what that feels like. So for Shavasana, I'm just going to suggest that you put your thighs, not your thighs, your shins up on a chair, but of course, if you want to lie flat, that's fine too. If you come onto your side and then take the legs up the chair, that's a nice way to get there. Cushion under your sacrum if you want to. You can also, this is an adapted way to do Shavasana, to take a blanket underneath the knees. You could take the fold of that blanket underneath your neck and just roll it
Support that neck. Yes, and the base of the skull. Some ideas to spa yourself out in Shavasana. Palms up to the sky, fold away from the center so that we feel that release through our exhale. And then from here, close the eyes. I'll do a tiny baby yoga nidra, which is kind of a nice lucid awareness for our final pose. Close the eyes, come back to that still image that you called up. Favorite place that allows you to let go and be in the present moment and enjoy that bliss. 3 breaths, focusing on this comfort place. Now, as I name off the different parts of the body, float along with my voice, just bringing your awareness to that place. As we scan the body, the right foot, the left toes, the left shin, the right calf, the left knee, the right knee, the right thigh, the left thigh, the left hip, the right hip, the pelvis, the spine, the organs, the ribs, the heart, the right shoulder, the left shoulder blade, the left arm, the right fingers, the left palm, left fingers, the back, the whole back, the whole back, the heart, the throat, the neck, the face, the right eye, and the left eye, the left ear, and the right ear, the skull, the tongue, the whole head, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Back to that image of your favorite place, sights and sounds. Bring your awareness back to your present location. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Emerge from Shavasana, rolling onto the right side gently, taking the legs off the chair. Easing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Take the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Take care of yourselves. Namaste.